Hey there, I'm Y4C teacher Alex, and today I'll be going through an advanced Hey there, I'm Y4C teacher Alex. Today I'll be going through an intermediate advanced yoga flow geared towards the yogi that is pretty familiar with the basic yoga postures. A little bit more fast-paced than normal, and an opportunity for you to really challenge yourself or maybe go a little bit deeper into certain postures where you may not have tried to work in before. We're going to actually start off on our back today. So come into like a final rest position on your mat. Allow your entire back to rest on the floor, your arms wide, your feet as wide as your yoga mat. And allow your eyes to soften. Allow all the muscles around your forehead, your cheeks. By the way, you will see a couple guest appearances by my cats. Start to notice your shoulders. Drop any tension in your shoulders, drop any tension in your fingertips. All the way down the body until you get to your toes. Allow your ankles, your feet to soften. And start to focus in on your breath. Notice each inhale. And notice each exhale. Notice the air as it moves through each nostril, down into your lungs as it expands your belly. And again, that same warm air move out of your nostrils, your belly rise back towards your spinal cord as you exhale. Allow all the physical sensations in your body, the need to twitch, the minor discomforts. Notice if you can remain still. Notice the breath. And allow any thoughts that pass through to simply do that, just pass on through. With your eyes closed, notice your surroundings. Are you in an area that is enclosed? Are you maybe outside where you can feel the wind? You feel the sunlight on your skin. What sounds do you hear? Notice the faraway faint sounds. And notice the close, sharp, crisp sounds. Begin to wiggle your fingertips. Begin to wiggle your toes slightly. Embrace any snap, crackle, pops that happen. And if it's normal for you to release the air pockets from your knuckles, crack your knuckles and your toes, do so. And start to notice each breath with each movement you take from here on out. Just simply reach your arms overhead, stretch through the tops of your fingers down to the bottom of your toes. Think of that first good morning stretch when you wake up in the morning. Take a deep inhale. And with your exhale, draw your knees into the body. Give yourself a big hug. Option to rock side to side. And just start to massage out your kidneys, your lower lungs. every vertebrae of your spine. Release your left leg out to the mat. Keep the right knee hugged in. And you might open and close the knee a couple times, just bringing some slight movement to the ball and socket joint of your hip bone. Interlace your fingers behind your thigh and extend your heel to the ceiling. And naturally, we want to see how far we can get the foot to our forehead, but just see if you can, for now, keep the leg extended, reach the heel high towards the ceiling, flex your toes, and just start to feel that opening through your hamstrings as we're first starting to move, first starting to get the blood flowing. You might even roll the ankles a couple times, clockwise, counterclockwise. Hug your knee back in. And switch sides. Hug the left knee in, extend the right. In yoga, this is called wind release posture. So if you're feeling a little bloated or having some bowel digestive issues, this is an excellent posture for you. Rock the knee side to side. And when you're ready, interlace your fingers behind your thigh, extend your heel. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Continue to flex your toes. Hug your knee back in. Hug both knees back in. And again, interlace your hands behind the back of your leg. This time, rock forwards and back. Think of like a rock and roll. And start to gain a little bit of momentum here until you find enough momentum to come to a full seat in crisscross. To roll over the front of your knees. Scooch back on your mat a bit and come into a child's posture. Your knees wide apart, big toes together. Extend your fingers out in front of you and allow your forehead to rest to the mat. If you have items in your house like a pillow, a blanket, you might even use a book. You can use these as leverage to help you if this is quite tense on your lower back. You might bring that pillow, whatever you have, right at your diaphragm area, right under your chest plate. Take 3 large inhales. Fill your back, fill your rib cage up through the sides of your body. And soften as you exhale. Take 2 more. And out. 1 more. Plant your fingers onto the yoga mat. Lift your elbows, lift your armpit region off the mat so your entire top body is engaged. Walk your fingers to the left side. Continue to keep them engaged. And slightly drop your right shoulder back to the yoga mat. Notice if you feel any tense stretch through the right side of your body. Breathe into this area. Deep inhale. And with your exhale, walk to the right side. Same thing, just different direction. This time, drop your left shoulder slightly. And with each breath, sink a bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center. Spread your fingers wide, lift up into a tabletop position. And very important in the yoga practice to stack your bones, your wrists in line with your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide, your knees in line with your waist. Tuck your toes under and draw your belly button towards your spine to create a nice little hollow area between your shoulder blades. From here, continue to tuck the toes under and lift your knees about 2 inches off of the ground. Float your tabletop. Now this will require you to engage your tummy muscles. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. 2 more in. Exhale. 1 more. And release down. We're going to do that again and add a little bit more movement to it. So reset, spread your fingers wide, tuck the toes under, inhale, lift the knees. Hug your left knee to your left elbow, inhale. Exhale back. Inhale, right knee to right elbow. Exhale back. Do this 2 more times on each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Back. Inhale. Back. Beautiful. Walk your toes back 2 inches. Extend your heels. Press your hips away from your body. Come into your first downward facing dog. Make sure that your hands and shoulders are in that same line. Look toward your toes. If you feel that intense stretch in the back of your legs, right into your lower back, bend your knees. It's okay to bend your knees in the practice. Listen to your body. Listen to what's happening. If you need to bend out, we call this walking the dog. Continue to press away from the floor. Ground your fingers, ground your toes. And with your breath, walk your feet up to the top of your yoga mat. We come into our first forward fold. Notice the tension in the back of your neck and your shoulders. Release the tension. Bend your knees if it feels right in your body. And grab opposite elbows. Allow them to sway side to side. If you have a pillow, a book, or anything with you to give you some leverage, you may place your hands onto that now. Release your hands. Inhale, look up halfway, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Your back, your shoulders, neck, and the very top of your head comes up last. From here, stay where you are. I'm going to turn towards the camera so you can see what's happening with my body. We come into a mountain posture, your feet in line with the hips in line with your shoulders. Draw your shoulders up and back onto your spine. Arms by your sides. Press your collarbone forward and slightly lift your chin and draw your belly button toward your spine. Take a deep inhale. Open mouth, let it go through your mouth. Again, inhale, deep breath. This time lift your arms overhead. Bring your palms together. Reach as high as you can towards the ceiling, even shrugging your shoulders. With your exhale, drop your shoulders. Notice the space that you've created between your ears and the top of your bicep. Continue to engage your belly. Squeeze your legs in towards one another. Press down through the toes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lean to the left side. Continue to engage the body. Look towards the ceiling and really reach both arms towards the side of the wall. You can remain here, or if you'd like a bit more of a challenge, Begin to flex the left toes and hover them right off of the ground about an inch. This will start to set fire to the outside of your right leg, right ankle. Drop your foot, inhale, lift. Exhale, off to the right side. Again, look towards the ceiling. Continue to breathe, stay here, or flex the right toes, lift and hover. Release, back to center. Cactus your elbows by bending them at 90 degrees. Press your lower body forward, your shoulders back, and take a very light back bend. Inhale, reach the arms up and over, forward fold. I'm going to turn back to the way of the yoga mat. Again, ragdoll, grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. And one vertebra at a time, roll up into your mountain posture. We move into sun salutations, doing 3 total, 2 sun salutation A and 1 sun salutation B. Start at the top of your mat, hips in line with your ankles, in line with your shoulders. Find the mountain, deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, place your hands to the floor, jump, step, or float back to plank. Because this is intermediate advanced, I'm going to stay here in the normal plank. If you do need to modify, drop your knees, come into the posture that feels right for you and your body. With your inhale, slightly lean forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, low plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes. Inhale, lift cobra. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, bend your elbows. Your feet are together, toes pressing into the yoga mat. Tuck them under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, press away from the yoga mat. With your inhale, hop, step, or float forward, forward fold. Lower. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms reach overhead, palms together. And by your heart, back to mountain. Number 2, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway rise, flat back. Exhale, hands, jump, step, or float back to plank. Down to low plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Squeeze your shoulder blades back. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment to breathe. Find that connection back to your breath. Inhale, jump, step, or float forwards, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms reach overhead, palms together, down at your heart, and by your side in mountain. Now we go into our last sun salutation B. Bring your feet together, toes and ankles hug each other. Come back to mountain. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, bend at your knees, coming into a chair posture. Squeeze your knees in towards one another. Hug your belly in. Draw your shoulders back. Look towards your fingers. Bring your weight into your heels. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, place your hands, jump, step, or float back to plank. Down, low plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Tuck your toes, exhale, downward facing dog. With your inhale, step your right leg forward lunge. Your heel drops about 30 to 40 degrees. Lift up, warrior one. Your back leg is straight, your heel hugging into the mat. Your front toes are straight ahead. And think of grabbing your shoulder, your left hip, and bring it all forward so you're facing one direction. Look towards your fingers, big breath in. Exhale, release. Step back, plank. Lower, low plank. Drop your knees, tuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward lunge. Drop your back heel, anchor it down. Inhale, lift your arms, warrior one. This time, right shoulder, right hip, drag to the front of the room, your knees and toes straight ahead. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold down. Step back, plank. Down, low plank on the exhale. Drop your knees, tuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Tuck your toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale, jump, step, or float forward. At halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, lower. Bend your knees, your toes and ankles are hugging. Inhale, lift, chair. Back to where we started, we come full circle. Again, drop your tailbone, hug your belly into the spine. Shoulders draw back. Breathe. Inhale, stand tall. Hands at your heart. And by your side in mountain. Take a moment. Hit the reset button. Notice where in your body, where in your breath you lost the flow or you're still with the flow. And check back in. Deep inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, fold forwards. Place your hands to the floor. If this requires you to bend your knees, do so. Step your right foot back into lunge. Drop your back knee, untuck your toes. Engage your belly, hug your knees in towards one another, and bring your hands right to your knee. Work on bringing the knee in line with your ankle. Press your hips forward. So this is gonna get really deep into your hip flexors. If you're sitting a lot of the day, or if you're sitting at home right now watching TV, this is an excellent posture to help combat any lower back pains, any tightness in the hips. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, cactus your arms, bend at the elbows 90 degrees. Tilt the chin back, lift through your heart and take a slight bend back. Inhale, lift. Stay here, continue to anchor your toes into the floor. Your right hand grabs your left wrist. I kid, your left hand grabs your right wrist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lean to the left side. Get really good into the hip flexor. Look towards the ceiling. Engage your belly muscles. Come back to center. Place your hands. Tuck your back toes. Lift into lunge. You're stepping the left foot all the way back into what we call a three-legged dog. Let it slide back and lift. Your toes might want to turn out. Your hip wants to turn out. Corkscrew your toes down. Drop your left hip. Take a big breath in. And drop your foot, downward facing dog. Yogi's choice. You can stay right here. You can take a child's posture. Or if you'd like to go a little bit farther and work on the stamina, we go through what's called a vinyasa, the flow. Inhale, lower your hips into plank. Exhale, low plank. Drop your knees, toes. Inhale, cobra. Tuck back on the exhale, downward facing dog. Hop, step, or float forwards. Halfway lift. Exhale down. And roll up one vertebra at a time. We find our mountain. So we do that all again on the other side. I cannot leave you lopsided today. So we start off in mountain. Hit the reset button, connect back with your breath. Notice the surroundings, notice your physical sensations. Know that you are exactly where you are meant to be, where you need to be. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, fold. Step your left toes back, lunge. Drop your knee, untuck your toes. Hug your belly, hug your legs in, and lift up, low lunge. Press forward slightly, getting into now your left hip flexor. Draw your shoulders back, and lift your arms. Deep inhale. Exhale, cactus. Lift your heart, look back. Inhale, lift your arms back. Your right hand grabs your left wrist. Reach up and lean to the right side. Notice the stretch, the pull right down the left side of your body. Look towards the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale, back to center. Place your hands. Tuck your back toe, lift your knee. And slide your right leg through, three-legged dog. Again, toes down, right hip down. Breathe. And we drop the foot, downward facing dog. Again, stay here. Cycle through the vinyasa that I explained earlier, or come into a quick child's posture. Notice where you are in your practice. Notice what your body needs. Did you break a sweat yet? If not, we'll get in there. And take this time, take a moment. We come back and we meet back in downward facing dog. With your breath, bring your weight into your right foot, lift your left back into the three-legged dog. Bend your knee, and this time widen your knee up towards the ceiling. The best way to think of it is a puppy, a male puppy on a fire hydrant. Lift and think of stacking your hips on top of one another. Take a deep inhale. Bring your knee to your nose and hold. Press away from the floor and make a nice poofy back. Exhale, extend your foot back up, three-legged dog. Inhale, hug your knee to your left elbow. Extend it back. Inhale, hug your left elbow to your right knee. Take a twist, work into the obliques. Extend back. Inhale, step your foot through, look towards your fingers and plant your foot down. So how we dropped our knee last time, keep your knee lifted, extend your heel as far as you can towards the back wall, engage your belly, lift your arms, crescent lunge. So here, think of high, tall, and back. Your feet, your knees hugging towards one another. Take a big breath in. Exhale out. Your left hand grabs your right wrist, just like we did before. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lean to the left. Get into the right hip flexors. Big breath in. Come back to center. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms. Big breath. Exhale, lean all the way up and over. Your belly and your thigh are hovering about an inch off of one another. Reach in opposite directions. Stay with me. Deep inhale. exhale, release your hand. Good. Again, we find the three-legged dog, slide it back. Bend your knee, find the fire hydrant, open, stack your hips, and release back to the floor. Excellent. One more side. Spread your fingers, reset your downward facing dog. Bring your weight into your left foot and lift your right. Toes are down first. Bend your knee and stack your hip. Fire hydrant to the other side. Inhale, sweep your knee toward your nose, hold and press away from the floor. Exhale back. Inhale, knee to your right elbow, hug. Exhale back. Knee to your left elbow, twist. Exhale back. Good. Knee to the nose, look toward your fingers and plant your right foot. Good. Extend your heel, engage your belly muscles, hug your knees in, and lift crescent lunge. Draw your shoulders back, your belly in toward your ribs. And we take our lean. Grab a hold of your left wrist with the right hand, reach up and off to the right side. Hug your knees in, squeeze your belly muscles, ground down through your heel, ground down through your big toe mound. Come back to center. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms, get into the forearms, reach up and over. Hover the toes. Beautiful, release. Place your hands, three-legged dog, slide it through and come into the fire hydrant. Pretty sure I made that posture name up as we were going along. And drop your knees, big toes together, come into child's posture. Take about 3 more breaths, really getting into your back, into your rib cage. Allow the body to expand. Allow the air to clear through, making way for new energy, new oxygen, new blood flow. And however you get there, make your way to your belly, whether that's just sliding forward, extend your feet. Bring your hands to your forehead and rest here for a moment, feet together. Bend your knees, allow them to drop side to side, windshield wiper left to right. Come back to center. Release your feet. Bring your hands off by the side, right by your chest plate, and then walk them back about an inch. Your elbows naturally want to splay out to the sides. Glue them in. Bring your feet together, press your toes down. We come into our first upward facing dog. Inhale, press away from the yoga mat. Lift off the ground. Shoulders back, look up. Good. Drop your knees very carefully. Come back to the mat. Take a breath. Again, bend your knees. Let's work on a little bit of back bends. Coming into bow posture. Our arms, grab a hold of the top of the foot or your ankle. If you're working on actually grabbing a hold of your extremity, grab a small towel like a dish rag or a normal sized towel. Wrap it around the crease of your ankles and use the towel as that support for you right now until you actually move into grabbing the ankles. Bring your knees close together. Hug your muscle, your skin, your muscle, and your bones in one straight line. Engage your shoulder blades by lifting your shoulders off of the ground. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Inhale, once again, this time lift through the top of your body by pressing your feet away from you. As you press your feet away, your hands pull them back in, which allows the thighs to lift off the ground into bow posture. Look straight ahead. Keep your neck neutralized. Deep inhale. Exhale, release carefully with control. Hands to your forehead. Breathe. Place your hands by your sides. Coming into Sphinx. Think of a Sphinx in the Egyptian pyramids. Your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder are in one line. Fingers flat onto the floor. Your feet are close together. And naturally our body wants to sink in like this. Press away from the mat. Engage your belly and think of tilting your pelvic bone forward to allow the pinch in your lower back to kind of melt away there. Close your eyes, continue to press away from the earth, and take a deep inhale. Let it go. One more. Excellent. Release. Place your hands by your sides. Tuck your toes. Come up to tabletop position. And the same action we did in the Sphinx is what we're going to do. This time, bring your fingertips together to interlace like this. So come into the Sphinx arms. Interlace your fingers together like so. So you're in kind of like a Sphinx arms bind in your fingers, and the back of your body is still in tabletop. Your toes are tucked. Dolphin posture. Engage your belly muscles. Walk your toes about an inch, half an inch back, and lift up as if you're coming into the downward facing dog, except you're at the elbows, you're at your shoulder line. So to keep you safe, to keep your body safe, if you're dragging down, if you're allowing gravity to pull you down, engage your shoulders, engage your core, press away from the earth and look toward your fingers. Take 3 breaths in here. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you might lift your right leg, take a few breaths, and switch sides. Beautiful. When you're finished, drop your knees, hands, tuck your toes under, and walk back into hero posture. What that looks like is knees together. You may sit on the tops of your feet. This is more of like a rock posture. And just bring your hands to your lap. Sit tall through your spine. Close your eyes. And take a nice giant breath in. Fill your belly, fill the lungs to the top. And let it go. Again, in through your nose. And out. Walk your hands forwards. Come into tabletop. Tuck your toes. Lift downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide. Take a few breaths in here. And when Jump, step, or float to the top of your yoga mat. Forward fold, relax and soften the back of your neck into your shoulders. And when you're ready, ragdoll up one vertebra at a time, find mountain posture. So you can remain facing forward on your yoga mat. I'm gonna turn to the side just so you can see what I'm doing in the balancing postures. All the core that we've been working on, it really is a great prep to help you work on balance, focus. And so we begin by grounding down through the right foot first. Imagine you've grown roots into your yoga mat, allowing you to engage the right side of your body, and then lift tall through the top body and extend through the left side. Kickstand, toes to the mat, ankle to ankle, hands at your waist or right at your heart. Adding on, you might slide the foot right to the calf, just below your knee, belly into your spine, shoulders back. Find a spot in front of you as a focal point that you can remain focused on to help you balance. And once you start to feel comfortable here, you feel the strength through the body, you might start to work your way to the top of the leg above your knee. So just be mindful you're either above or below your knee. This is a great way to just protect your body. And once you've found that nice even exchange between both legs, bring your hands to your heart. Continue to focus on your focal point. And for added challenge, extend, grow your wings, spread your branches, whatever you would like to call it. And if you feel pretty confident here, challenge yourself by closing your eyes. Notice if the shift happens when your perspective changes. And give it a little reset of your body, give a little yoga wiggle. And come to the other side. Ground down through the left toes. Kickstand at the right. Engage your belly. Engage through the shoulders. Stand up nice and tall. Hands at your waist or at your heart. And when you're ready to go forwards, when you're ready to work at a different level. Think of a zipper. Think of zippering the zipper all the way up and continue to go forward to the top of your leg. Take a few breaths in here. And when you're ready, grow your branches, spread your wings. Excellent. Bring your hands back to your heart and bring them back down. Give a little shake. I'm going to turn opposite directions for this next balancing posture. So come back to your mountain. And you have a few options. I'm going to show you the extended version. And you can modify from there with a bent knee, and continue to move forward from there. Feet are hips distance. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, fold forwards, bend at your knees. So this time intentionally bend your knees so you have a slight micro bend. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Your peace fingers grab your big toe. Peace fingers grab your big toe. So this is after you've really stretched out your hamstrings. Inhale, engage your belly. Work on the flat back. And that micro bend is going to allow you to lift up. So this is a great option, or another great option is with your strap, with your towel that we talked about before. Grabbing the towel and allowing to kind of pull back. Good. Engage your belly, make sure that your hip is dropped. Inhale, open off to the side. Use your supporting opposite right arm to keep you balanced. Come back to center. Good. Hug your knee in, take a deep breath in. and take one giant step back into lunge. And so I'm going to scoot forward because I'm on the center of the mat. Good, so we come into the lunge. Coming into a really great hip opener called pigeon. Your right toes are forward. You just want to wiggle them off to the left side of the room. Very carefully with control, drop your knee and use your back foot, your back toes to gauge where you are in this specific posture. This is quite intense. If you have a pillow, and I can grab mine here to show you. If you have a pillow and you would like to place that under your right side body as support, this is an excellent way to work into this posture. If you're still noticing that you're resisting gravity a bit. If you have weak knees, or if you have not weak knees, but if you have an injury to knees or they're tight, you would do the same thing on your back, laying down, bend your knees, cross your right ankle on top of your left, and hug the knees in. Flex your toes. But for the purpose of this video, I will remain in pigeon. And different variations come to the forearms. If it's comfortable for you, place your hands to the floor. Really anchor and be mindful of your left hip bone. Draw that towards the earth. Take 3 very good breaths in. And 3 breaths out. Place your hands. If you have an advanced practice and you'd like to work into a quad stretch, hug the knees together, engage your belly. Tuck the back toes and bend your back knee. A couple options, left arm up and back, allowing for that range of motion. Grab the toes and draw the shoulders forwards. If you are going a bit more advanced, hug the elbow in, find the mermaid or king pigeon, whatever is in your practice. I will leave you to get creative. And once you are finished, tuck your toes, place your hands, and slide the leg through back to downward dog. And give a little wiggle, walk your dog. If you need to, roll out the knee. Yogi's choice. Remain here, take a child's posture, or cycle through the vinyasa, lower your hips, low plank, inhale up to cobra, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, walk, step, or float forwards. Hang heavy. And roll up. Slowly, find mountain. One more side, we come into the balance on the left, or excuse me, the right side. Draw down, anchor down through your feet. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, fold. Left hand to your waist. Peace fingers, grab the right big toe as you work into your extended leg. Good. Hug your knees in, micro bend the supporting leg. Belly in, shoulders back. Again, you can use your towel, or you can bring your hands at your shin if you're working on grabbing your toes. Inhale, open off to the right side and use your supporting hand for balance. Good. Back to center. Hug your knee in and take one giant step back into lunge. And again, shift forwards. We come into pigeon on the opposite side. Hug your toes off to the right side of the room. Drop your knee. Back toes. Again, gauge where you are in your body. If you have the towel or your block, whatever it is that you're using for support, place that right under your left hip. And come down to the forearms, come to your hands, and take 3 full breaths in and 3 full breaths out. On your last breath, place your hands, lift. And again, on this side, if you're working on a bit of advanced posture, tuck your toes, lift the back heel, right arm forwards, up and over to grab the big toe inside of your foot and hug your shoulder to the front of the room. Stay here, look up, breathe in. If you're going deeper, hook your elbow, find the mermaid. Wherever you are, continue on that focal point, and with control, place your hands, tuck your toes, step back into downward facing dog. Walk your dog. Roll out the knees. Big breath in. Exhale out. And with your breath, jump, step, or float forward into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees and sit to the floor. We've made it. Extend both feet out in front of you and flex your toes back towards your forehead. Find a nice long spine so you look like an L. Inhale your arms up, extending your L. And think of reaching up and over as if you're reaching something across the room, but not using your back. Keep your back long. Lean in from the hinge right here at the midline. Inhale, lift. Exhale all the way up and over. Once you've found that spot where you start to feel that hunch, stay there, drop your hands, and drop the forehead. Breathe. Walk your hands back. Bring both knees in so that your feet press together, like so. Interlace your fingers behind the toes. And again, sit up nice and tall, shoulders back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold from the midline and lengthen through your spine. If you'd like a bit more of a challenge, you might use your elbows to lightly press each knee down. Back up. Extend both legs. Give them a little shake left to right, windshield wipe. Arms extend all the way out in front of you. And notice if your shoulders want to do this, jaw back. And one vertebra at a time, as if you hollow out your stomach, roll all the way to the floor. Lower back to mid back, upper back, shoulders, and head. Now that you're laying on the floor, we come back to where we were, the beginning of class. Your arms by your sides, your feet are wide. Extend the arms all the way up overhead, reach towards opposite walls. And hug both of your knees in. Allowing this time to go internal, to go within. Nowhere to be, nothing to do, but just be here on your yoga mat, in your body, with your breath. Bring your knees back to center. Extend your right foot out only, back to the wind release. Opposite hand to opposite knee, right hand to your left knee. Extend your left arm out to the side like a T. Take a breather in, and with your exhale, rotate your knee and twist the body. So now you're crossing over your body. Your knee might fall to the floor. It might hover. Both are normal. Look away from your knee. So you're looking towards your left hand. Close your eyes, soften the muscles of your face. Inhale back to center. Switch sides. Hug the right knee in. Extend the left. Supine twist. Bring opposite hand to your knee. Left hand to the right knee. Right arm off to the side. Deep inhale. Exhale, fold over your body. This is a naturally great way to crack your back, to massage the organs in your digestive system. Look towards your right hand, close your eyes, soften the muscles of your face. Inhale, come back to center. Hug both knees in. Again, rock side to side. And this time you might even grab a hold of the top of your knees with your fingers and make some circles, some big circular motions. Clockwise. And clockwise, counterclockwise. One last hug. This time bring your forehead to the knees into a small fetal position. Engage all the muscles of your body. And give a big smile. Smile really big, as if I told you the funniest joke. Because no matter what is happening in the world or what we're going through personally, we always have a reason to smile. We always have a reason to be grateful. Release all the limbs. Your feet as wide as your mat, your arms out wide. Think of making a snow angel in the snow, or in our case in Florida, a sand angel in the sand. Drop the shoulders. Unhinge your jaw from the top of your mouth. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Final rest. At this part in the practice, you can take as much time as you would like to yourself. Notice all of the small effects, the large effects of the practice, the ones that show up immediately, and notice there are some effects that show up more long term or later on. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring some light movement into your neck by rocking side to side. One last good morning stretch overhead. Bend both of your knees and curl to the side of your body. Use your hands as a pillow for your head and cradle your heart. One hand at a time, press into the yoga mat and lift yourself up. Come into a seated position in the center of your yoga mat. Hands at your knees, you can flip your palms. Hands at your heart, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Take 3 breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Again. Last one's the best one. Inhale. Open mouth, let it go. I thank you for joining me in this practice. Have a beautiful day. Get outside, get some fresh air, and I will see you next time. Thank you.